Welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Dithmini De Silva. Let's start off with a look at the headlines.
Buddhists all over the world celebrate Vesak by giving priority to religious events. The Sirasanamami Vesak zone opens in Kuragala. Agrashravaka relic exposition at the Mahabodhi grounds in Maliga Kanda. Over 900 prisoners granted pardon for Vesak. Many areas in Sri Lanka experience over 100 millimeters of rainfall. Opposition objects the appointments of temporary chairman to the Committee on Public Finance.
In today's highlight of the day, of all Poya days, the Vesak full moon Poya day is of utmost significance as it marks three major events in the life of Lord Buddha. It was on a day like this that the birth, enlightenment and the parinirvana of Lord Buddha took place. This year, Buddhists mark the 2567th Vesak celebration.
Vesak Day is one of the biggest days of the year and is celebrated by Buddhists all over the world. Buddhists commemorate the important events that took place in the life of the Buddha on this day. First comes the birth of Siddhartha Gautama in Lumbini in Nepal, which took place under the arbor of a sal tree where Queen Mahamaya gave birth to him. The second event was Siddhartha Gautama's supreme attainment as the Buddha, the Enlightenment. It is believed that Siddhartha Gautama realized that wealth and luxury did not guarantee happiness. So he travelled as a homeless holy man to learn more about the world and saw the suffering in the world. It is believed that he became spiritually aware and reached his goal of finding meaning in life. This is called enlightenment. The third event was the Buddha's parinibbana over 25,000 years ago at Kusinara. According to Buddhist history, Lord Buddha's third visit to Sri Lanka also took place on Vesak full moon Poya day. Lord Buddha visited Kalaniya at the invitation of the Naga king Mani Akitta on a day like this. History says it was on a day like this that Prince Vijaya and his entourage of over 100 people reached Sri Lanka.
Colourful Vesak lanterns designed by using trees and plants is on display at the Kandy City Centre. The Janapati Bathigi Sarabiman program opened on Thursday evening. The program at the President Model Primary School in Navinna, Maharagama took place under the directives of its principal Prasanna Gamage. The program took place throughout the night and it also included an exhibition of lanterns and dancels. Another Bathigi performance took place at the Piliyandala Zonal Education Office. A Vesak lantern exhibition by school students from Dehiwala, Moratuwa and Kasbawa was on display at the premises. A religious event took place at the Sri Bodhirukarama temple in Bibila. The event was presided over by the chief incumbent of the temple, Venerable Kuda Villaka Hema Lokathero. Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and opposition leader Sajith Premadasa issued messages for Vesak. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that on this hallowed day, let us seize this instance of religious sanctity and pay tribute to the Buddha's sagacity by uniting in solidarity to rebuild an affluent Sri Lanka. The president said that at this juncture of the country's unprecedented economic crisis, the timeless philosophy of the Buddha becomes a source of solace. He said that therefore during these troubled times, it is imperative to rise above all differences and join together in unity and service, as espoused by the Buddha, to overcome the dangers in pursuing a life of normality. He said that this path should be guided by the Four Noble States of loving kindness or metta, compassion or karuna, sympathetic joy or mudita, and equanimity or upekkha, as upheld in the Buddhist philosophy. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the self-management taught in Buddhism can also contribute to alleviating the crisis situation we are facing today. He called on all Sri Lankans to work towards a society that values loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, the four states of mind which leads to true happiness shown in sublime teaching of the Buddha. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa noted that Buddhism always preaches the practical steps to be followed to develop the transcendental life based on the development of physical life, and therefore Buddhism is a very meaningful and advanced way of life. He said that the teachings of Lord Buddha are fully compassionate teachings designed to be applicable to each and every living being in the world. He called on all Sri Lankans to celebrate the three grand events of the life of Lord Buddha as principal citizens of this land, who are following the path of one of the noblest teachings in the world, with immense compassion towards all living beings in the world. A special security plan and transportation service is in place for the Vesak celebrations on Friday and Saturday.
Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduwa said the security across Vesak zones and temples was increased.
People often visit Vesak zones in their vehicles. It is observed that during such period, more than 2 people travel on a motorcycle without helmets. That will not be allowed. Do not try to travel in such a manner. Police will take legal action against such people. The same applies to 3-wheelers as well. Do not park your vehicles that obstruct the road and inconvenience the public. Those vehicles will be towed away and tow fee will be charged from the vehicle owner, in addition to the penalty that will be imposed.
Special bus and train services are in place for the convenience of those travelling during Vesak.
We have increased the number of buses deployed from Colombo to other provinces. We have decided to use buses based on the requirement. This bus service will also be in operation on Sunday for those who wish to return to Colombo from other provinces.
Sri Lanka Railways said that a special train service is also in operation for Vesak.
A special train will head to Badulla on 5th of May and another 2 trains will head to Anuradhapura. On the 7th of May, the trains will return to Colombo and another will head from Anuradhapura to Beliatta.
The Public Health Inspectors Union of Sri Lanka said a total of 7,160 dansals have been registered and its personnel will be deployed to inspect the quality of these stalls. 988 prisoners were granted a special presidential pardon for Vesak Poya Day on Friday. The Department of Prisons said that among those who received a pardon are 6 female prisoners. It added that among the total number of prisoners who received a pardon were those who were languishing behind bars unable to pay their fines and those imprisoned for over 18 years. At the same time, relatives of prisoners will be given a special opportunity to visit inmates on Friday and Saturday. The Department of Prisons said that relatives are allowed to bring meals for one prisoner during the visit.
The ancient artifacts located in the historic Elamaldeniya Rajamaha Vihara in Pitabadara Matara are at risk of being destroyed due to neglect.
The historic Elamaldeniya Rajamaha Vihara is located on the hilltop of the Singharaja Forest Reserve along the Mulatiana Road in Pitabadara Matara. This historic temple is believed to have been constructed some 2000 years ago by King Saddha Tissa. The chief incumbent of the temple said that the ancient paintings at the premises are being destroyed by pest infection. According to locals, this historic temple fell victim to treasure hunters on multiple occasions.
Oh, it's got.
A series of religious events were organized on Vesak Poya Day.
A large number of devotees visited the Gangarama temple for religious observances on Friday morning. Buddhist devotees also visited the temple of the sacred tooth relic in Kandy for religious observances. Hundreds of devotees were also seen visiting the Jayashree Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura and Ruwanweli Mahasaya in Anuradhapura for religious observances. The 28th Dhamma sermon of the Siri Sadaham Seta Dhamma sermon program, based on a concept of opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, took place at the Mahabodhi Agrasavaka Mahaviharaya in Maliga Kanda, Colombo. The Dhamma sermon was conducted by the chief incumbent of the Maliga Kanda Agrasavaka Viharaya, Rajakiya Pandita Tripitaka Venerable Ambulugala Sumangala Thero. An exposition of the Agrashravaka relics got underway at the Sirasa Nama Vesak program. The relic exposition commenced on Friday morning and a Sambuddha Puja led by the Mahasangha took place later in the day. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, among others were present for the event. Religious events were held under the directive of Venerable Banagala Upatisatero, the President of the Mahabodhi Society of Sri Lanka, Chief Sanganayaka of Japan.
නොහැකි වූ තැන නූතන ලෝකය තුල සත්‍ය ලෙසම ආශිර්වාද ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා ඒ වගේම අපේ
The Sirasa Namami Vesak zone got underway in Kuragala. The Sirasa Namami Vesak zone will take place until the 14th of May at the historic Kuragala Raja Mahaviharaya. An attractive Vesak pandal, Vesak lanterns and other significant Vesak creations will be on display at the Vesak zone. The event is taking place under the directive of Venerable Vaturukumure Dhammaratana Thero, the chief incumbent of the historic Kuragala Raja Mahaviharaya and chief Sanganayaka of the Ratnapura district. A special religious event took place at the Buddha statue located at the Shakimalaka opposite the Capital Maharaja Group head office premises in Colombo. This meritorious deed was supported by the management and staff of Harcross Chemicals Private Limited, a subsidiary of Capital Maharaja Group. The religious event was presided over by Venerable Kirinde Asaji Thero. News First presented a digital pandal depicting the Apannaka Jataka story, a philosophy of leadership. This digital pandal can be accessed by visiting the News First website, Facebook pages and the YouTube channel.
The Met Department said that over 100 millimeters of rain is expected in the western, southern, northwestern, Sabaragamuwa and northern provinces. It added that most areas would experience a heavy downpour in the afternoon or at night. The Met Department said that strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western and southern coastal areas. General public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Landslide early warnings issued to several divisional secretariats in the Badulla, Kegol, Gaul, Mathura and Mathalet districts remains in effect until Friday evening. The Colombo-Katharagama main road was inundated from the Bundala junction in Hambantota following a heavy downpour. Several houses in the Valigath area were inundated and vehicular movement along the Colombo-Katharagama main road was interrupted from the Bundala junction. Movement along the road leading from Bandaravilla to Kesan came to a complete standstill after a tree uprooted and fell onto the road. News First correspondent said that locals joined with the Bandaravilla Municipal Council workers to remove the tree. Heavy rainfall was experienced in the Mavadala, Aranayak and Hemmatagam areas in the Kegol district. In more local news, 23 people, including 2 children, were injured and hospitalized following a head-on collision between 2 buses in Kajugama along the Colombo-Kandy road. A private bus travelling from Kandy to Negombo collided with a Sri Lanka Transport Board bus heading from Colombo to Muthoori in Kajugama. The injured were admitted to the Watupitiwala Base Hospital, and hospital sources said that none of them are in critical condition. A 12-year-old child died in a motor accident that took place at the Kudapatia junction in Kahatagasthigilia along the Trincomalee-Putlam main road. It was reported that a motorcycle had entered the main road from a by-road and attempted to enter another by-road located across the main road. At that time, the motorcycle collided with a lorry heading from Trincomalee. The deceased was identified as 12-year-old Sachini Prabodhya from Sandasirigama. 3 aircraft that were scheduled to land at the Bandaranaike International Airport were diverted to the Mattal International Airport due to bad weather conditions over Katunayaka. To the Mattal International Airport due to bad weather conditions over Katunayaka. The duty manager at the BIA told News First that showers and thunder showers were experienced in Katunayaka since Thursday night and on Friday morning. One flight carrying 297 passengers was from Melbourne, Australia. The other flight was from Malé, Maldives, and the third flight that was diverted to Matala on Friday morning was from Dammam, Saudi Arabia.
News First with the people.
MP Chandima Veerakkodi, a member of the Committee on Public Finance, expressed the following views on the appointment of a temporary chairman to the committee.
Johnston Fernando
has been appointed as the temporary chairman through the support of the ruling party members, despite facts were presented on 7 occasions to the committee stating that there is no power to make such an appointment. The Speaker of Parliament has acted in a despicable manner by even calling for a committee of selections to appoint a chairman of the Committee on Public Finance from the opposition and eventually postponing it for the 4th time. At a time when we are working towards gaining the assistance from the IMF and World Bank, the government's conduct in such a manner would lead to a very unfortunate situation.
රජය මේ ආකාරයෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වීම තුළ අපේ රටට උදා වෙන්නේ ඉතාම අවාසනාවන්ත තත්ත්වයක් කියන එක කියන්න ඕන.
Iqbal alias Bali Khaira, one of the most wanted terrorists responsible for the attack on the Sri Lankan cricket team in Lahore in 2009, has been killed in a police encounter in Dera Ismail Khan, a city in Pakistan.
The Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa police had offered a reward of 10.5 million rupees for the capture, whether dead or alive, for Iqbal alias Bali Khaira, a member of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and Al-Qaeda. According to police inspector, Iqbal attacked the police. They responded by killing him and one of his accomplices, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Iqbal was wanted in connection with 26 terrorist attacks and targeted assassinations. The most recent suicide explosion at the district headquarters hospital, as well as the attack on the Sri Lankan cricket team in Lahore in 2009, according to DI Khan police authorities.
Tech bosses were summoned to the White House on Thursday and told they must protect the public from the dangers of artificial intelligence.
Sundar Pichai of Google, Satya Nadella of Microsoft and OpenAI Sam Altman were told they had a moral duty to safeguard society. The White House made it clear that it may regulate the sector further. Recently launched AI products like ChatGPT and Bard have captured the public's imagination. They offer ordinary users the chance to interact with what is known as generative AI, which can summarize information from multiple sources within seconds, debug computer code, write presentations and even poetry that sound plausibly as if they might have been human-generated. Their rollout has sparked renewed debate over the role of AI in society by offering a tangible illustration of the potential risks and rewards of the new technology. Technology executives gathered at the White House on Thursday were told it was up to firms to ensure the safety and security of their products and were warned that the administration was open to new regulations and legislation to cover artificial intelligence. Sam Altman, chief executive of OpenAI, the firm behind ChatGPT, told reporters that in terms of regulation, executives were surprisingly on the same page on what needs to happen. US Vice President Kamala Harris said in a statement following the meeting that new technology could pose a risk to safety, privacy and civil rights, although it also had the potential to improve lives.
That's a wrap of the lunchtime news. Join us again at 9 p.m. for more of the very latest.